The problem with conspiracy theories is very rarely is there a real conspiracy. So with the COVID situation and the COVID vaccines, there may well be problems with the vaccines, but almost certainly there was not a conspiracy to cause problems. And if there's been a spike in deaths by heart attack, there's also now an acknowledgement that 316,000 people did not get treatment to lower their cholesterol, and that 491,000 people missed out on blood pressure pills. The British Heart Foundation has now pointed out that the lockdown had a huge impact on the treatment of people with heart conditions. And a lot of the conspiracy suggestions about COVID focus on the fact that there's been an increase, a spike, in heart-related deaths since the pandemic. Now, the problem is we are quick to identify a conspiracy. Maybe we've been over-egged on the extraordinary story, if you remember, of the idea that carrots make you see in the dark. Of course, carrots don't make you see in the dark. The idea that carrots make you see in the dark was something put out by Britain during the Second World War, I believe, to counter the growing suspicion by the Nazis that British planes were ready for them every time they flew in, and there was a suspicion that maybe Britain had cracked the Enigma code. Yes, it had. It had done it at Bletchley under the leadership of Alan Turing, and with the prototype computer, the bomb. But it didn't want that news getting out. So instead, there was this extraordinary piece of propaganda put out that carrots made you see in the dark, and the British carrot-based diet was clearly so efficacious the RAF pilots were able to identify German bombers simply with their carrot-enhanced eyesight. Pure mumbo-jumbo, of course, but it helped to deflect, and it helped to silence the suspicions that Britain had cracked the Enigma code. It had. But that's really the point. A conspiracy story needs to have a reason. And so far, all the conspiracy theories about the pandemic and about the efficacious or non-efficacious nature of the various vaccines, there is no overwhelming reason for the malicious development of a vaccine which causes harm. There's no reason for that, nor is there really a reason to suggest there's a conspiracy by accident. I think there may well not have been enough research. There may well not have been enough done to ensure to eradicate all possibility of danger. But that eradication of danger isn't present in any vaccine. And when you go back to the original vaccine, the reason why we call it a vaccine, because it's got links to a cow, the original vaccine and the enthusiasm for the vaccine by Napoleon, for example, this was a step in the right direction. Maybe it didn't provide perfect inoculation, perfect protection from things like smallpox, but it was a step in the right direction. And I think maybe we should be looking at the positives rather than the negatives. So for now, I think it's very interesting news that the British Heart Foundation has just released.